Hello, welcome back to Monster Train. In today's episode, it is 1:50 p.m., but it's 1:50 p.m. and I woke up recently. My sleep schedule is it's kind of weird. I don't know, kind of go to bed whenever and wake up whenever. Like last night I went to bed at 5 a.m., but I still woke up at noon and like I woke up at 10 and then I went, man, I'm tired, and I went back to sleep. So, I woke up at about noon. But anyway, I'm all it's weird because what'll happen is I'll just be tired when I come back from my class on Tuesday and I can sleep a lot earlier. So it's all good. I'll be fine. Worst case, I can always tell my school I have COVID. I really can. That's the weirdest part about the current like going to school right now is if I don't want to go to class, I just go, hey guys, I'm not feeling that good. I got a bit of a cough. I'm gonna stay home, and they can't tell me to come to class. Crazy. I'm not going to do that in bad faith. I'm not gonna do that, but the option is there, and it's weird. Anyway, I hope you're doing well. I'm doing fine today. I have my coffee still. It's a real early one because I still have my coffee. I I'm feeling inspired. I've been letting Monster Train fall back. I've been feeling inspired lately about just making content in general. After finally putting out that TFT intro video, there should be a first look that went up yesterday if you want to check that out. Someone made a recommendation, or not recommendation, a request, by the way, for Echo Right. I used to do these all the time where you could just leave me requests and I would advertise that you could, but then I started to forget. But someone wanted to see Exile Wurmkin Hellhorned. I don't think they specified, so I'm gonna play default Hellhorned, but if you wanted to see specifically Exile Hellhorned, leave me a comment about that in 13 days on the, probably leave it on the next Exile Umbra video. But let's do it. I can, if you want to make a request, I will do them. However, I have to warn you, sometimes I'll forget. It's extremely possible that you make a request, I read it, I reply to it, and then I forget. So just be aware. But but there should be a first look up from. I played this really cool game. I liked it a lot called Alita of the Arena. Extremely neat. Go check out the first look. I meant to make the first look 20 minutes and then I played an hour. And I went, oh wow, that was a lot of fun. So I may do a mini series on that and just play through a few runs because I had a lot of fun with it. But then I have to make a thumbnail. However, it's a new era. Anyway, let me ask you a quick question today because I talked too much in the intro, and let's begin. Today I want to ask you if you can whistle. I tried to whistle this morning, and like I woke up and I had a song in my head, and I tried to whistle it. I can't whistle, man. I can't do like, I feel like there's two kinds. There's like the regular old whistling where you're like whistling a tune, and then there's the one where you put your fingers in your mouth and you make a really loud, high-pitched whine. I can't do either. I'm sure someone could try to explain it, but I think I'm doomed. I've tried a few times to learn. It never goes well for me. Can you whistle? Maybe. I feel like it's gotta be a learned thing, right? It can't be just like I can't do it because I'm me. I hope not. Anyway, because you're you, I hope you will like, comment, subscribe, and let's begin. Oh my god, it's double curses. Plating Seal, Daedalus, Curse Fell, Curse Seraph. I don't know if I've ever called him Curse Seraph before. Echo Transfer, Hornbreak, Soul Crushing, Guilt. Beetle Boy with Hellhorned is fine. I'm just going to play Hellhorn, or Beetle Boy, and whoever I pull with them. I'm down to take Mind Horde here. Firebox is interesting. I think that I disrespect this relic as a first pick because you can think about an intrinsic X cost card with this. However, the payout for this clan combo would be Wurmkin Spike, which is okay. You would clear the first wave and you could put a lot of Reap onto a boss, but that's a lot of what ifs, and Mind Horde is a guaranteed positive of +1 Echo. Something on my screen. I was just like a little dirt on my screen. I got it, don't worry. I don't want to become the guy who plays only Martial Art, but Repeater's rough here. I'll play a repeater, because like what if we get repeater reinforce or something like that? But it's rough here. We have to skip the horde and we're gonna be weak in the early game. Repeater's fun. I want to play repeater because I always play. I played martial lord last week. 2 weeks ago? I guess there are 12 characters now, so 11 days ago? Something like that. How many characters? How many plans? How long does it take me to play Echo Right again? Is it 12 days? It's weird to me right now to actually think about how long it's going to be until I play this clan again. 1, 2, 6. It's 11 days from now. It'll be like quite a bit of time. Surprising, I would say. Doesn't feel like it's that long. Big game plan here is going to be to refresh our train steward by pinging him. However, I have to ping him next turn because I don't want to feed a damage shield. I actually think that the 11 damage I did there is not better than the train stewards would have been, but the train stewards I need to play in front of Echo Right, probably. One takes 40. I think I'm going to take damage. If I kill my train steward, there's a chance I don't draw another one. But if that happens, here's the deal. The play here is to Echo Break, Torch, and this gives us a 4th card we can draw, so we can draw Train Steward and we're fine, and now we can also draw Soul Crushing Guilt and we're fine. And if we don't draw either of those, sucks, is all. Oh, we got Train Steward. And he's not even enough for a kill here, but he's fine. This is the Pitfall of Repeater, but I traded 10 fire HP here for having Repeater as my champion, basically, because he's weak early. And we get the cash out, which is Infused Shelter. This is the Highroll. That is the extreme Highroll. Good with a Fledgling Imp here, perhaps. Perhaps. It's a weird order because what am I going to play? I'm going to play Fledgling Imp, Echo Right, and then just some unit with multi-strike. In front of that, like Steelworker with multi-strike or Keeper of Echoes. Yeah, I'm down because it's purple. Skipping Fledgling Imp here is... Okay, this is an important... this is for me. It's also for you, but it's for me. Skipping Fledgling Imp here is trying to be too smart about it. Skipping Fledgling Imp is thinking like, oh, well, this Fledgling Imp might not have a whole lot of impact on the Divinity. This Fledgling Imp is going to do a lot of work for me in the next combat. Being able to drop 5 Rage and a purple and a Chunk Blocker in this deck is going to be helpful. And I should look at it from that perspective and not the perspective of how is this going to be on the Divinity. Dare you to show me Keeper of Echoes. And it's never Keeper of Echoes. It's never Keeper of Echoes. I'm gonna play Multi-Strike plus 25. This is fine, actually. Multi-Strike plus 25 Chaos Vessel. I think it's fine. This unit has Multi-Strike when it hatches. It is a good use for Fledgling Imp. I can infuse it with some sort of defensive or offensive infusion. Am I strong enough for the Horde? I believe yes. Railhammer, exceptional. This run becomes hatch this egg win run, I believe. Now. A lot of pings, but I don't have a lot of health. I think that this is a trial that is very scary to take. I have a lot of pings to kill off all these clergymen. I think it might be good enough. I mean, since someone requested this clan combo, I can talk a little bit about the clan combo itself. One of the strongest parts of Wurmkin Exile plus Hellhorned is you start with double pings. One of the best things about the clan combo here is we start with doubled up pings, which is good. It's extremely helpful to just be able to ping as much as I want, pretty much. You're making this harder than it needs to be. I don't know if I've ever seen a man say that to me in this game. You're making this harder than it needs to be. Shut the fuck up, bitch. As much as I would like to catch that collector, I cannot. My pyre health will not allow it. I'm going to take quite a bit of damage here, I fear. Good horn break draw, really good horn break draw. Game-changing horn break draw, I would say. This shelter is keeping me alive, absolutely. And I'm going to give up. I can just use the egg to hit enemies. Like, it doesn't have to, with this, it doesn't have to do anything else. So I'm actually only going to take 5 here, which is fine. Yeah, we echo break shelter. It's fine. The Railhammer plus shelter is really, really good here because, well, without it, I would not have a way. I'd be gaining 2 or 4 armor per turn, so it's effectively doubling my armor output, which is helpful because I don't know if I would have lived without it. Do I want to add another consume spell to this draw right now? I don't think so. I think that this is, again, I picked this for later. I picked this for when Repeater pulls 2, but Repeater doesn't pull 2 right now, and we're a little cutting it close. Echo Transfer Bounding Echoes. This is like maybe Bounding Echoes, but I'm okay. Fortify got a lot better, but this Vent with purple on it, it's a free card with purple, and it'll kill backline. I started talking about what's strong between these clan combos. Here's another thing that's strong. Shard Soul Carver. Armor 6 on Inspire. Pretty good. He doesn't scale super fast, but you have Hellhorned scaling options like Rage. But I don't have a... Actually, I could infuse this. And then the egg only takes up 2. It hatches into 3, so I'd have to take space to keep playing Fledgling Imp, which I think is worthwhile. Because I'm also getting... I'm down with that. Take draw space on this run. It's an expensive run, but I can make it work, I think. I have no money, so probably go right, just grab the Pyre health. Yeah. Back to Temple. I don't know if I want to duplicate anything. Intrinsic Shelter here is good. It's really good. I just get this every time now. I get that in the Reform pool every time. I could duplicate it even. But I think it needs to... I guess I could duplicate it and make it cost 1 less at the... Or make them both cost 1 less. And we have... For now, we would not have a lot. But once we get to 2 cards per turn from Echo Right, I would have 2 shelters every turn. That's good because I don't have to spend duplicates later on it. The idea? Maybe later on I want to duplicate Fledgling Imp or something like that, right? Right now, I don't want to duplicate Fledgling Imp necessarily. So I duplicate this Intrinsic Shelter, and it's done. My duplicate's spent. I'm gonna go pretty high on pack shards here, but I think we can support it. Go ahead and make this Kinhost Vessel a big boy. The Fledgling Imp might get kicked out of this run to let Kinhost Vessel just chill as well. We'll see what it looks like at Fell. I'm taking draw first. Trap Shoot. And I think that this is... I feel like this card is good. I know it has Consume on it. It's kind of fine. If Echo Right brings it back, I just daze the Divinity with it. If Echo Right doesn't bring it back, I play Shelter. It's fine with me. We can effectively have 3 good cards in the Reform pool and rotate between them as our plan. The other big thing to note about this is the Shelter, if it wasn't infused, the Railhammer would be doing a lot less because I'd have to play a card first, but because it is infused, much, much easier. I'm gonna go ahead and fully send it on... Oh yeah, because he's getting hit. I was like, why is he only getting 4 armor? I'm gonna fully send it on hatching this egg. And like, improving the egg's livelihood. Hey, you're dead. The Forged Disciple dies here. Definitely. Yeah. I think we just focus on hatching the egg. I did take 5. I wonder if I could have stopped this. I don't think I could have. I don't think there was any way to stop it, but you'd have to watch it back. I wasn't paying super close attention, to be fair. Yeah, also, once the egg is hatched, I don't use my echoes, so the shelters are gonna be pretty big. This deck also kind of wants energy, though, I feel like. Especially for Curse Fell, things are gonna be pretty expensive, but... No, it's a bit of a toss-up, right? I think you can go either way with it. 90 times 3? Do I need... I can, instead of energy, I can focus on going to magic shops here because I have my unit all the way upgraded. I can go to all magic shops and give myself all my cards costing 0, which is probably where we're gonna go with it. Peter Echo right into Diligent Seraph. What a grim fight for Seraph, huh? Unearthed Remains is hard to pass up, even though it goes in the consume pile. It is 2 echoes. It's good for when I'm on my way to hatching the egg, and then once the egg is hatched, I could stop playing it, is what I feel like is meaningful here. Could also skip it and just sit tight. I think that the extra slot for echoes, though, is pretty good as well, although the shelters, they don't really need help. Skip this, and I'm gonna pick draw, probably. I think I can pick draw here. The more that I play, the more that I feel like I don't want to play around fledgling in this one, but it's not set in stone yet. Clear out the purples. Buy 2 -1s. I don't really care if I miss like double stack or anything like that. I need to make this deck cheaper. Yeah, missing holdover doesn't really bother me. I already have holdover on a card I care about. It's shelter. It's not. It's technical holdover. I see it every turn. Could pick Shellsmith. Shellsmith with Railhammer probably does about as much as. It does about as much, but you know what? Don't worry about it. Magic shop there. Probably I want to go to the trinket shop because this is a Wurmkin run, and if I could see Bog Slime, it's great. +10 piercing. Like I need to plan my pack shards out so I don't go super far over, but +10 piercing is really good here because I have vent. I love just slamming this down on vent real quick. Yeah, we could have had holdover +10 piercing vent, but I think that that is not that interesting to me. Armor 15. I'm 65 pack shards, so I should respect, because we're very high on pack shards for Combat 4. Man, enemy like Quill Marksman can do me dirty here. The shelters are free now, so it's gonna help my my costs pretty heavily, I expect. I'm thinking about that Unearthed Remains. I just take too much damage, right? If I play Unearthed Remains. Has to be Hornbreak. Has to be Hornbreak. And I was about to play Hornbreak on the 15x2, but the health of the Kinhost Vessel doesn't die because it heals to full when it hatches. So I can kill here, and then play... Oh, I can actually get the Collector, right? Because I Echo Break here, and then the Collector dies to Echo, right? Yeah, good job, me. Once this egg hatches, everything is right as rain in this run, but getting to the point where the egg hatches is scary as rain. Haste. 2-3 is not enough. I'm gonna take it from this Quill Marksman, I think. Well, I can Soul Crushing Guild though. It's just I would prefer to not have to. But I think it's going to be correct to stop 30. Maybe sounds like I'm being a little sarcastic, but I miss out on hatching the egg this turn. I don't think that it's a problem. 16, yeah, I definitely just Soul Crushing Guild here. Once the egg hatches, it's all good, and you just have to get there. The Hornbreaks are putting in overtime, keeping me afloat here. Hornbreak goes here. Torch. Probably Torch. Vent, Shelter, and then Echo Transfer. It's worth it because I have the next wave Dead to Rights as well, so I don't have to worry that much. Echo Right's doing his best over there, and his best is absolutely fine. Downright good enough. We get there with a 62 times 2. The downside is I waste all of the Shelter armor by not hatching quicker, but I may as well give the game all of the respect it's due and take my time here. Ping off the haste, give myself all of the scaling. You never know. Kinda know, but you never know. Yeah, he's dead. Okay. Good enough. I didn't take the trial, but I think it was correct. Return Soul is great, and it's just like, it's okay. It's a little weird, actually, because I use it and I pull back a card and add it to the reform, or the consume pile, but I don't have to play the card I pull, and it's a free purple card for right now. I think that this card will fall off, but right now this will help me hatch my egg quicker. Imp in the box I don't like, because I don't have room for the imps. And the consume isn't worth it. March of Shields is worth considering, but I'm okay. Yeah, we're gonna keep going to these magic shops. Go take our -1s. I think it's probably best to do it on like Echo Break now. Permafrost. Freezing Soul Crushing Guilt isn't the worst, but I'd rather just make stuff cheaper. Another holdover missed. No big deal. I'm really poor on this run. I have no money. Go ahead and pay 60 for a remove 1 Train Steward. I could have gotten the holdover, but I don't really want it that much. I am going to take the money and probably remove another card though. So Wurmkin Etchings with Echo Right lets me play 6 consume spells every turn. I can play as many as I want with this, basically. Which is good. I am okay with this. But I do have to make this cost less. And it's not purple, but I think it's good. I think it makes a lot of sense. You ever notice his license plate says Impic? IMPIC. That like epic, but Impic? Is that another imp pun in this game? Did they sneak another one in on me? Might say Impco. The more I look at it, the more I feel like that says Impco. Because Hef's Anvil has Impco on it. We'll see it when we go here to the upgrade Echo Right station. I choose to not believe that says Impic. It's better for the mental. I think I can multi-strike. I always disrespect this fight. I think Harvesters of Death is not worthy of my respect. Maybe a little bit worthy. Maybe a little bit worthy. We'll see. And I just have to make sure that this 25 times 2 doesn't roast me. That's all. I will probably focus on the hatch here. I have time. I have a lot of cards I can draw. I don't think I need to spend my time pinging. Yeah. I mean, actually, I don't even need to spend my time pinging up here now, right? I do want, the main thing I want to remember is I want to play Vent on this floor to kill the Defender and the Marksman, make it just the tank, because that guy's going to do a lot. But first, let's get our boy Hatch. 14 armor for him. That armor, it's so better hatching pace, which is good. It means that I don't waste as much armor, which is important for Crystal Cloak, because Crystal Cloak will roast me. I'm looking at, and I think there is one, I would like to put in my Reform loop, or in my Consume loop, Echo Transfer. Like so. And Shelter. I forgot to play Wurmkin Etchings! I didn't have enough energy! Hate to see it. Okay, I'll play the Shelters as they come back to me, and if I pull back Echo Transfer, it's also fine. Don't play the Shelter now, though. Play the Shelter here. And when I'm over on Echoes like that, there is no reason not to use Echo Transfer. I don't think there's ever a reason not to use Echo Transfer, to be fair. I think it's always right. in here? Unearth remains. Hornbreak's actually solid as well. Give me another echo transfer though. Give me all the echo transfers. Almost killed this enemy. Almost. I'll just hold off on Trap Shoot. I'm pulling Shelter every time. Doesn't matter if you mess up, if you just always hit. Always hit Shelter. No problem. Torch my man. Shelter. Now I remember the Wurmkin etchings this time around. This run got really strong, and I don't really remember when. But like, it got there. I think it was when I made the Shelters cost 0 actually is when this run really got a lot stronger, because I get to play them every turn now a lot easier. In case Divinity is exceptionally helpful. Very nice. Soul Siphon is also decent, but it falls off. I think that this is the sort of card I would have jumped a little more at on Combat 4 than I do now. Impish Scholar. I don't need any more consume cards returned back to my hand. Thank you for the offer. I've been taking Tiresome Climb a lot. I think I just stay with the purple plan though. I can use Soul Crushing Guilt. I do believe I don't need anything to duplicate, right? Another Shelter doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I think my best play is to just keep going to Magic Shops. Iron Dropcage? I'm gonna super daze the Divinity with the Trap Shoot now. I think it's fine. Could take Firewall to help against Fel as well. That's not the worst. Card is not purple and bad for this run. I actually think I can just toss Fledgling. I have the damage scaling with Echo Transfer that I need. Okay, I'm gonna go -1 Echo Break. I think I should give one of these a +10. And then let's reroll. I've seen 3 holdovers in a row. Crazy. I don't even want it. Like, holdover event? I guess it's fine. It's a free purple every round. And it does some damage. It's definitely fine. It's the sort of thing where... Is that a high roll? Not really. It's good, but I don't need it. I wasn't looking for it. I was actively disrespecting it, in fact. But it's good, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna go ahead and take my 10 as a Purge Stone here. And I will leave the 15 open, I think to Value Stone, because Value Stoning... What I should have done is I should have put both -1s on Wurmkin etchings, actually. That was kind of mindless of me. You are correct. I am wrong. The Fel music is kind of bumping. You hear this shit? The music in this game is pretty good. I'm gonna play bottom floor because it's Cursed Fel and because I drew Vent turn 1. If I did not draw Vent turn 1, do not think I would have played bottom floor here. But the turn 1 Vent goes through these enemies for me rather cleanly. I can also hatch this egg right now, which is pretty solid. I don't need to play this torch that I put Consume on, I just needed to put Consume on the torch for the 1 echo. And yeah, we're chilling. I think I'm gonna try to start playing Unearthed Remains when it makes sense to. It doesn't make sense to here, as you can probably guess, because I'm gonna take damage for it. But it makes sense to like kill enemies off, although also I have Vent, so why am I pinging those enemies? Great question. My response to you is that I will not be taking questions at this time. Please hold them until after the presentation, please, and also thank you. 60 times 3 means 75 carries through to the big guy. Or the second guy, that's what I'm trying to say. The other one. Then Shelter, then Echo Transfer. Could start dropping Soul Crushing Guilts here. I don't think it matters that much though. Don't forget, easy thing to forget, but don't forget that Kinho's Pupa has this Apply Reap 2 on strike effect. Extremely easy to forget he has this. It does make some amount of difference. I would say. And I think because of how I played this run, I am okay to even just take another draw. Because I focused entirely on... I got the early double upgrades on my Kinho's Pupa. I focused entirely on making my whole deck 0. I think I can probably get away with it. I haven't played on Earth Remains a single time, have I? I can just put Consume on cards I don't care to play. For the Echo. For the Inspire. Goodbye, Fel. Now we get 2 cards per turn out of Echo Right. The Wurmkin Etchings is good, but also 2 cards out of Echo Right is probably good enough as well. Kinstone. I don't think I need this. The fact that it can't be removed doesn't matter, so this card is just 1 energy, play a purple. I don't really need that in this run. I don't need space. I can take energy. Energy helps if I want to play top 4 on Seraph, but I think I'm okay to take double draw. I'm gonna greed. I'm gonna go for the greed, and I have no money, so there's no reason to go to the trinket shop. I won't be able to afford anything. I'll go to the removals. Honestly feel like I should just toss on Earth Remains. This is maybe a bit of a weird call, but if I toss on Earth Remains and Wurmkin Etchings, I get 2... So what am I getting out of this card? What am I getting out of Wurmkin Etchings? I get to play on Earth Remains, but realistically I get Trap Shoot. How much do I care about Trap Shoot in this run? Really not that much. Yeah, and there's no value stone here. I'm down to go over by 1 and purge, start purging Hornbreak. Yeah, I'm down to go over by 5, I mean, or even duplicate Shelter is fine. I'm gonna toss out Wurmkin Etchings. I'm gonna keep the Unearth Remains for now, but I'm gonna toss out Wurmkin Etchings. I just don't like what it's doing for us. I'm gonna toss Hornbreak. I can go as low as I want in this deck against Diligent Seraph because I have Repeater. I think I've probably mentioned that, but I'll mention it again. I haven't seen this event in a while. I do kind of like For the Greater Good. I'm sure I've mentioned this before, but I love that card art on For the Greater Good. I think that's my favorite card art in the game. That shit looks so good. I can put melee weakness on my man though, on my boy Kinho's Vessel. I think that's gonna be a little bit better. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a little bit better. Melee weakness. It's not Sapstone, it's definitely melee weakness on strike. Later, buddy. If only I could pull Trample Stone, but alas. Give me my Repeater 3, I worked hard. The only thing that I'm worried about is my number of hits might not be high enough for the Divinity. I think it'll be okay, but it might be a little close. Let's go. Heaven's Seal. It is rather frightening, but I do not feel fear. Unless there's a double infusion, and then I feel fear. I feel fear. Alright, I'm gonna get... I might actually just die. I might get so blasted I pass away. That is what that looks like to me. It's gonna be up to the melee weakness on strike plus Echo Right to fix this one. Because I'm about to get bopped. I'm about to get a stern talking to from these fellows. Yeah, we just put it on the torch. I don't have to play it, just put it there. I'm about to get a stern talking to. I think the melee weakness on strike might be the saving grace here. Because I think I can get the Kinho's Pupa's attack through to the Gilded Wing. Applying the melee weakness for Echo Right to do 200. I believe. If not, I can trap shoot, and that's also acceptable. But let's begin. I'm gonna play it all and see where we end up. Play the vent. Yeah, okay. It is enough, so I don't have to throw the trap shoot out. It's nice to have the trap shoot as a nice fallback in case something goes terribly wrong. But if I don't need it, that's even nicer. 71? I don't like that very much for you, buddy. Oh, whoops. Missed this guy's death. Okay, you know what? I'll save my man. I'll save my man 20 HP. It's worthwhile. He is 108 times 3. I just don't like play the torch when it happens like this. It's fine. And I pay a little bit closer attention. In this sort of a position, it doesn't really matter what I do with the pigs, right? Everything's gonna die anyway with the same amount of damage output because of them. So as long as all of the small ones die, which I should basically what I'm trying to tell you here is I should make sure I put my pings onto these enemies so I don't accidentally let them die. Or let them live. Let me die. Make sense? I should ping the 15 health backliners because sometimes I'm going to forget that I need to deal with them. Echo breaks there were probably worthwhile, but like, whatever. Get this bozo off my screen. So we win Relentless without a doubt in my mind. The Shelter plus Railhammer combo is always going to win Relentless for me. I just have to kill the enemies. Could pick any of these, but I don't think any of them make a lot of sense. Inflame, Branding Right, March of Shields, like, it's almost Inflame for the Rage, but it's not. But it almost is. I don't really want to duplicate anything in this deck. I'm okay. I'm gonna go ahead and go right. Like, maybe better, but the magic shot makes more sense to me. The Lightstone casing. A double stack shelter? I really don't need it, though. How about an extreme stone? Okay, I will do that. You know what sounds pretty good here? Lightstone casing. Extreme stone vent. I know it puts me over by 10, but that sounds pretty good here. In here, remove consume -1, and I can also pay 90 for a card removal. I think I buy Light's Gift. My armor gain is so high, though. I wonder if it's not worth it. I actually think that this isn't that worth it. I don't... It feels like a waste. I think that I can high roll something better. Like Bog Slime. Like, exactly the position, right? I would not have been able to afford that. So, I feel like in a position like this, it's better to take the... Because you know what else makes us guaranteed stronger? Light's Gift makes us guaranteed a little bit stronger, but not that much. You know what else makes us guaranteed a little bit stronger? Removing the cards that I would have had the money to remove if I didn't roll into Bog Slime. Just hit, etc., etc., but I also feel like part of high rolling in a game like this is understanding when you should look. What, like, someone explained this when I was reading the TFT guide, actually, and basically the idea is, sure, someone else might have high rolled, but you know what they did that you didn't? They gave the game the opportunity to high roll for them. I gave the game the opportunity to give me that high roll, and it did, and that's great. Very cool. Love to see it. I saw 4 holdovers on this run. I saw holdover, 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 holdover. I saw 4 holdovers. That's crazy. That's crazy. Alright, let's go dunk on Diligent Seraph. The only thing I even care about a little bit is the curses he puts in my deck, but I don't care that much. Just make sure I play Shelter first and we're chilling. Thought about playing bottom floor, but I'm gonna get clobbered. We'll just deal with the curses as they show up. order, but also not really. I don't need it. I should have actually removed this return soul. Now that I've looked, I should have removed the return soul for sure. It makes a lot of sense. Oh yeah, I can also stop the curses once I draw them. That's acceptable. I think the Soul Crushing Guilt is worth holding on to. It's a nice little insurance option, basically, in case I find myself in a position. Oh yeah, I don't care about the curses all that much, do I? Like, I have the energy, and I have the energy because my whole deck is free, and I took a lot of draw, so the draw doesn't matter. And these shelters are giving me, they give me 20 or 4, so the shelter alone isn't enough. That's what I should tell you. The shelter alone is not enough for this run to be stabilized and armored up. The vent is. It's a 2-part process that makes me skip it, right? Because what would light skip stop here? It would stop 12 damage. I put that on Echo, right? My bad. In most of these rounds, because of this 40 damage piercing vent, I do not have to give any respect to these enemies. Because it's just 10, and I'm putting up 40. I'm positive every time. I'm gonna start messing up the order of playing these cards I expect. And again, also I have these trap shoots, and I have cards in here that I'm not going to play, but they're here to act as answers in case I end up in a tight spot. That's the last piece of information I have for you about the makeup of this run. Skipping light skip feels really weird, because that relic is usually insane, but what's more insane is the amount of armor I'm gaining here every turn from Railhammer Shelter. It is a little nutty. These Echo Transfers are good too. I feel like Echo Transfer, I expected it to not be enough attack. I expected it to be a little slow, because when I think about Echo Transfer, I go 15 per round on this unit. I'm not going to clear these waves, but again, it all comes down to one major actor. One major unit. Vent. That's the hero of this run. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. It was always Vent. Now, by the way, remember in last combat I was talking about how I should ping these enemies off? Vent does 40, no enemy lives 40. An enemy with 15 lives 10. An enemy with 15 does not live 40. And we'll play it off. Look at this. I've been holding the Soul Crushing Guilt for all this time. There it goes. I think the other thing that's interesting about this run, and this is the sort of thing where it's because Echo Right is it's like new character syndrome or latest character syndrome, I would call it in games like this. Echo Right does 100 damage. That's a lot. In case you're unsure, my man. Imagine this is Tethys, right? Imagine Tethys has stats scaled to look like this at 1 health or at 1 space. I recognize he's 2 space and Tethys is 1 space, but like, dude, imagine Tethys has 50 attack and 12 health or something like that. I guess actually, Tethys has like 60 attack on Frostbite Path, to be fair. To be fair to Tethys. But this is a Tethys hatred champ. Tethys, disgusting. I'm just sad. I miss the old Tethys. I can actually... No, I should just vent down here, right? There's no reason not to. There's no reason to not get ahead on the venting, I feel. Play Torch. Probably play Shelter, Soul Crushing. Just to ensure Echo Right. Actually, no, probably play Shelter, Echo Transfer. Vent here. I feel like Shelter, Transfer. It's like Soul Crushing I could play, but I don't really care. Tethys will be fine. Or Echo Right. Sorry, Echo Right. Didn't mean to disrespect you like that. My bad. This wave I only ever want to vent once, so I can vent it. Like I have time basically. But by softening these waves like this, I get to do a bunch of damage to the Divinity by virtue of the vent. Wipe out this wave, wipe out the next wave. Well, not quite wipe out the next wave, but come pretty close. I think in doing it like this, instead I lose out on like 2 echoes on the top floor, but I gain like 1500 damage on the Divinity. Something crazy like that. Because I only ever need to vent this wave once, I only ever need to vent this wave once. Doesn't make a big difference. But by venting like that, it's fine. And then I can move to top floor every round after that. Good to know. Again, I have the trap shoot just in case I need it, but it's currently looking like I don't need it. This is also another story of this run. I'm talking so much about the event. Another story for this run is the way that I got to just... this run is good, but it's also good because I got to tunnel those magic shops, right? The extra draw is helpful. It's very helpful. That's what I want you to also recognize. I should do some counting here. I'm always going to spend 2 hits here, 1 hit here right now. So I should focus on this middle clipped Guardian, because I am going to get hit here. But it's not going to be as much, because I focus this guy down and can host people to kill him in 1 hit. Could always trap shoot. You know, there comes a time where I gotta ask myself, how far am I willing to go to try and get a perfect in this fight? And the answer is I'm willing to go far enough to put trap shoot in the rotation like that. It's at this point you go, yeah, I may as well. Yeah, why not? I don't know if I did not mention it, but it snowed today, but like quite a bit. It is extremely bright. Like it is extremely bright. I'm having trouble seeing the screen because the reflection of sun off of the snow is glaring into my glasses. I don't like that shit. Universe, cut it out. I want to be able to see. 186. He's never gonna kill. There's gonna be 1, 2, 1. So back to bottom floor, brother. Oh man, the aesthetics of what have happened to this man is he has walked up to the top floor, had a trap door open underneath of him, walked back up to the top floor, and had another trap door open up underneath it. A man's got to work on his positioning. He is not doing a great job. It's probably gonna happen to him again, man. It's tough. It's tough out here for my man. Can't believe you're gonna live. Now you have to fall through the trap chute. Ay, ay, ay. This rate, this guy's gonna die to vent. I'm also, at this point, I am just flexing on the game by maintaining a perfect on the boss. Extremely unnecessary. I could have taken the damage, but at the same time, this guy just lives his life in fucking purgatory, and that's pretty funny to me. Should I have done this? I don't know. Am I potentially gonna die to this wave? Almost certainly not. I'd have to give you an almost certainly not. Yeah, no way. No chance. And we armor up, and then we daze the Divinity, and that's 10 damage taken. Good fight. 10 damage on the beetle. 0 damage boss fight. Good job, everyone. Pack it in. So I started talking about this clan combo, but basically you look for things like Railhammer. It's definitely a relic-heavy clan combo. There's a lot of good hits. Railhammer synergizes well with the armor gains in this clan, in Wurmkin, because you have Shelter, you have Shard Soul Carver. I mean, those are the 2. That's basically it, but those are worthwhile. And you can also, you can play around. I think with Beetle Boy, you have 2 ideas. You can use Marsh Lord as a frontliner, and then you play, like, Horned Warrior, with a survivability option, and you use your Wurmkin stat scalers, Echo Transfer, Echoes of the Past, to scale your Hellhorned. Or you play it like this, where you just play with the Hellhorned cards basically non-existent, but, you know, Vent is pretty cool. You play Hellhorn cards plus Shelter to plus Railhammer, look for the relics. Or there's other ways you can go about it, right? You could get armor synergies on Shellsmith as well. That one's pretty good. I think that it's with Beetle Boy. It's a little harder to call exactly, but you got a lot of options because Beetle Boy is flexible. You can make him a tank with Shellsmith. You can make him a backline like support unit like we did in this one with Repeater. Can make him the whole plan with Marsh Ward or just a frontliner. There's also some synergy between consume spells and return consumes in these clans, like Last Stand and Reinforce options as well. I think the only thing that's kind of awkward is Rage is a little weird to use, because the only unit with natural multi-strike in Wurmkin is Kinhost Pupa, and you can't start stacking Rage until he hatches. But anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave me a like, subscribe if you want to see more. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.